Why are we here in this world?
The purpose of human life cannot be self-assigned. It must be discovered in relation to the Creator.
If most religions point to serving Creator, being morally accountable, being just, restraining ego, etc., then I don't see a reason to excel in this world or do anything here. This world just seems to be a passing-by hotel where I stay and go.
A temporary stay doesn't make actions meaningless. In fact, limited time increases responsibility. Most traditions that speak of serving the Creator also treat this world as a testing ground, not an illusion.
I do 9-to-5 job like an average man, live decently, do not harm anyone, etc. It seems I have served the purpose. What is the reason, even then, to excel in any field? Why should I work ridiculously hard at my work if the purpose is achieved this easily too?
A person capable of building a bridge who chooses comfort instead hasn't done wrong, but they've left potential unused. An unused capacity matters only if purpose exists. In a meaningless universe, mediocrity is perfectly rational. In an intentional one, it's a form of neglect.
Why are we here in this world? Some say to serve God. Some say to create meaning. Some say to maximize happiness. And some say there is no purpose at all. In this video, we will critically analyze whether the purpose of life is to serve God. Let's put this in front of ChatGPT. Why should I believe that the purpose of life is to serve God?
You should believe that the purpose of life is to serve God only if one thing is true, that life was created with intention. We only talk about purpose when something is designed. A knife's purpose is to cut. A phone's purpose is to communicate. If humans were created, then asking why we exist makes sense.
Okay, to keep our discussion tight, let's start with the assumption that I believe is a superior creator. Let's not tie it to any specific religion's God, but the ultimate superior creator, whatever you want to call him.
All right, if we assume a superior creator exists, then two things follow logically. First, that creator would not create without reason. Intelligence implies intention. Creating conscious beings without purpose would be irrational. Second, the purpose of a created thing is defined by its creator, not by the thing itself. A phone doesn't decide its own function. Discovering purpose means understanding the creator's intent. So under this assumption, the purpose of human life cannot be self-assigned. It must be discovered in relation to the creator.
That is a very simplistic comparison. Phone doesn't decide its function, but it is designed to fulfill its function. There is absolute clarity from the creator of the phone in terms of communications, manuals, etc. on what it can and can't do. I don't have any such clarity. Yes, many religions claim they have the instruction manual that is scriptures from God, but that takes into another rabbit hole. Which one is right, or are they all giving same fundamental purpose?
That's a fair challenge. The phone analogy breaks down at precisely the point you've identified: clarity. With designed objects, the creator's intention is explicit. With humans, it isn't. If a superior creator exists but gives no clear instruction, then we're left with three possibilities. And only three. One, the creator has no intention beyond existence itself. In that case, serving God collapses, and purpose reduces to self-created meaning. Two, the creator has an intention, but it is unknowable. Or three, the creator has an intention and has communicated it in some form. The debate about scripture belongs to that third possibility. But notice something important. Religions disagree on details, but they converge on a shared core. Across traditions, serving the creator consistently means moral accountability, restraint of ego, justice toward others, and orienting life towards something beyond the self. So before asking which revelation is true, the first question is simpler. Is purpose discoverable at all? Or are we comfortable saying the creator remains silent? Because if the creator is silent, then serve God is empty. And if the creator is not silent, then the question shifts from philosophy to evidence.
Okay, there is no objective way to say which one of the options you mentioned is correct, and it comes down to individual faith. I take option 3 only because everything in the universe points me to an ultimate creator. And for me, if he has created a marvel like humans, then he couldn't have done it for no reason. So the question now is, if most religions point to serving creator, being morally accountable, being just, restraining ego, etc., then I don't see a reason to excel in this world or do anything here. This world just seems to be a passing by hotel where I stay and go. Why should I bother to innovate, work hard, etc. in this world if this world and its stay is so meaningless and ultimate thing to do is to serve Creator?
That concern only arises if serving the Creator is understood as withdrawing from the world. But logically, it points in the opposite direction. If a Creator intentionally designed humans with intelligence, creativity, moral agency, and the ability to shape the world, then using those capacities well becomes part of service, not a distraction from it. A temporary stay doesn't make actions meaningless. In fact, limited time increases responsibility. You don't stop caring for a rented home just because you don't own it forever. Most traditions that speak of serving the Creator also treat this world as a testing ground, not an illusion. Innovation, work, and effort aren't about worshiping the world. They're about exercising trust, stewardship, and restraint within it. The difference is motive. You don't innovate for ego alone. You don't work purely for accumulation. You do meaningful work because how you act, even in a temporary setting, reflects who you are accountable to. So service doesn't flatten ambition. It disciplines it. The world stops being the goal, but it becomes the arena.
Okay, think of it this way. I do 9 to 5 job like an average man, live decently, do not harm anyone, etc. It seems I have served the purpose. What is the reason, even then, to excel in any field? Why should I work ridiculously hard at my work if the purpose is achieved this easily too? Your explanation encourages mediocrity. Had everyone followed your logic, we wouldn't have invented cars, planes, internet, or even yourself, ChatGPT.
That conclusion only follows if service is defined as avoiding wrongdoing. But that's a minimal standard, not fulfillment of purpose. If a Creator endowed humans with unequal talents, curiosity, and the ability to transform the world, then merely not doing harm is closer to moral neutrality than service. Excellence isn't about status or wealth, it's about responsibility for capacity. A person capable of building a bridge who chooses comfort instead hasn't done wrong, but they've left potential unused. An unused capacity matters only if purpose exists. In a meaningless universe, mediocrity is perfectly rational. In an intentional one, it's a form of neglect. Innovation didn't happen despite belief in purpose. It happened because people believed their abilities were not accidents, and that how they used them mattered. So, serving the Creator doesn't mean everyone must become extraordinary in the same way. It means being maximally faithful to the abilities you were given, whether that leads to inventing airplanes or raising children well. Mediocrity isn't failing to outperform others. It's failing to take your own capacity seriously.
But how do we know what our capacity really is? And who decides when enough effort is enough? And many times, the capacity and potential is not for any larger good, for example. Having capacity to be very good at gambling doesn't benefit anyone.
There is no universal quota. Effort isn't measured against other people, but against opportunity and circumstance. A parent working modest hours with integrity may be exhausting their capacity. Another person with fewer constraints and more ability may not be. That's why no external authority can rank lives on output alone. The standard is internal consistency. Are you avoiding effort out of responsibility or out of comfort? So capacity is discovered, not announced, by paying attention to where your abilities create real value and where effort actually improves lives rather than merely feeding desire.
So if life has no purpose, mediocrity makes perfect sense. But if life does have a purpose, then comfort can quietly become a form of neglect. Serving a Creator, if that idea is true at all, wouldn't mean escaping the world. It would mean showing up fully in it. The uncomfortable part is this: the line between enough and excuse is one only you can draw. We will leave you with that thought until we see you next time. Bye for now.